Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new Paint a Mini video. Tonight, I'm actually, interesting enough, this is the second time I'm filming this. I started filming it about 5 minutes ago and my computer crashed. No idea why. So I've rebooted it. Hopefully it won't happen again. In this video, I'm going to be painting another miniature from the Cthulhu Death May Die game. This is Morgan. He's a black Indiana Jones, which I just find that very cool. So I started to paint him, and then the computer crashed. So I'm picking up where I left off. I had gotten his arms and face, and then it died. So we'll just pick up right there, and I'm just going to have to repeat a lot of what I said earlier. So my original discussion and my continuing discussion with this was I had received an email from a viewer asking me, well, first off, it was a statement, then a question. Let me get that correct. The statement was, man, you play a lot of games. I do. I don't play, in my opinion, I don't play as many as some people. Like, I watch Ash Barker, his channel, Gorilla Games. He plays a lot of games. So I'd love to play that many games every day and video them and stuff. But we'll get there one day maybe. But right now, no. But I do play a lot of games, I guess, compared to a lot of people. And I play a lot of solo games. So there is a slight difference there. But the question was, what all games are you playing? Because I don't know if he had not seen all the playlists I have or whatever, but he just asked me, like, what games are you playing? So I thought what I would do in this video is sort of go over some of the games I am playing currently, or maybe meaning to get back to, and then I'm going to paint this mini. So I'm going to put the screen down here, and this is him. So I'm going off the picture. I'm just trying to follow the picture as best I can using the speed paint colors that I have. So anyway, let me start over again. So before the computer died, I basically was going over the list of war games that I play, or specifically skirmish war games. Now, these are games that I play both in solo and non-solo format. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, skirmish war games that I play both solo and non-solo, it's a short list. It's mainly Frostgrave, Stargrave, I guess you could say Core Space, although I haven't played Core Space in a while, but I'm going to get back to it. I also play Gaslands sometimes. I don't get to play it as often as I would like, but that's another game I really want to get back to. So yeah, it's a short list of games that I play that are both solo. I play both solo and cooperatively. Now, if you just get into games that I play solo only, then the list expands a little bit. Those of you who are following my Tabletop Engineer Plays channel, you probably already know these. And so I play 5 Parsecs from Home, which is a solo. It's a skirmish war game, but it's got a campaign element. It's got other things to it, but it's still, in a nutshell, it's still a skirmish war game of sorts, because the main element of the game is the battle, and the battle typically involves 6 to 8 of your miniatures versus 6 to 8 of an enemy miniature. So yeah, it falls in that camp. And then of course there's the fantasy version of it, which I haven't played in probably a month or so, maybe longer. Called 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. I am, for those of you who are curious, I am going to get back to 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. I got a little irritated with the game because I couldn't get my book ordered or shipped. The book was just way delayed, and it just made me sort of irritated, and I stopped playing it. And I didn't stop playing it through a tantrum. I just lost interest because I was spending way too much time flipping through that book. And those of you who play the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's a lot going on in that game, and it's just, for me, it was not conducive to a digital PDF file. I needed the book. I finally got my book in, and now I need to just get back to playing it. And that will be happening soon. So 5 Leagues and 5 Parsecs. Now, non-solo, I play a game called Space Weirdos with my youngest son. We haven't played it lately because I really want to start playing another game with him called Starbreach. Starbreach is a sci-fi skirmish war game, but it really isn't intended to be solo. There are solo rules for it, but I find that the game is really cut out for cooperative, like player versus player, not cooperative, but opponents. So I'm hoping over the Christmas and New Year's break that I'm gonna be able to get my boy down here into the workshop and play some Starbreach. I've already got his miniatures picked out. He picked out his warband. He doesn't know much about the game, but I let him, sort of like look at the different miniatures or the different warband factions and pick the one he wanted. I think he picked a pretty good one. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't feel like I play a lot of games. Now, I do play a lot of hybrids. And by hybrids, what I mean are games that have like a miniatures battle component to them, but there's also like other stuff. And one of those games, oh man, which is it? Is it this one? Yeah. One of those games is Shadows of Brimstone. It's a Western themed game where you have miniatures, and there's miniatures for the enemies, and you go into the cave, the mines, and you fight monsters. And there's a campaign element to it. Your character, your characters that you play develop. They get new weapons, they get new skills, they level up, things like that. So yeah, that's a fun little game that I've been enjoying, and I need to get back and play a new game of it. I haven't played it in a few weeks. What else? Aliens. Another Glorious Day in the Core is a game I've been enjoying because I'm a huge Aliens fan. Alien and Aliens. And it lets you play the Marines, going to Hadley's Hope and rescuing Newt and fighting the Queen. And so I've been playing that and enjoying that quite a bit. And let's see, I'm looking over here at some of the games that I've got stacked up here. There are solo games that I play that don't make it to video. I play, and mainly because I haven't really been able to find a way to film it where it's engaging, or at least that I feel the game sort of, it hurts. The way I play now, videoing it hurts. And one of those games is Arkham Horror. I love Arkham Horror card game. I play it at least once a week, but I don't video it because I've so far not really found a good way to film it where the viewer can sort of, follow along. There's a lot of going on. It's a lot of cards, and there's a lot of text on the cards that you have to read. And so it's a lot of exposition. Me having to like explain or read background things and flavor text. And I just get the impression that that's not what people want to watch. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. But that's one of the reasons you don't see me playing. I tried it for a little while. I was playing Arkham Horror on my YouTube channel and recording it, but I just didn't feel like it was doing the game justice. But let me know if you disagree. I might be able to try again. I also play a game called Mansions of Madness. I love this game. You can play it solo. There's an app that runs on an iPad or a tablet, and it acts as the referee. And it's Cthulhu. It's an incredible game. However, the games go 2, 3, 4 hours. I kid you not. They don't lend well to filming. And for that reason, I just don't film them. And lately I've been thinking maybe I should film them and break them up into smaller chunks. I just don't know. Again, let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. I love Mansions of Madness. I play it, and I jump around a little bit, but I have been thinking about just playing them straight through as they were released. There's numerous expansions for it. I don't think they're going to be doing anymore. From what I gather online, I pay attention to some online discussions. Fantasy Flight, it appears they may be tiring of that game, of like providing support for it. I hope not. I would really like to see some more expansions for it. It's just such a great game. It's great solo. It's great with a with friends, but you really got to be into the Cthulhu mythos. You really have to be, because it's a heavy game that is very thematic. You gotta understand the horror and the reason things happen and stuff like that. But anyway, that's another one, yet another one that I play. What else? There are more, and I'm sitting here just looking around. Now, RPGs. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I call it D&D, but I play what they call Old School Essentials, which is I guess a form of D&D. I do play Mothership. I haven't played in a while, but I do want to play again. It's a sci-fi game along the lines of Aliens. I have all of the rule books and game modules for the Alien RPG, which hands down is probably one of the coolest RPGs on the planet. Its mechanics are unique. I definitely have intention to be running that game at probably some conventions that I'll be attending in the future. I want to play Alien RPG as a referee. I think the game is outstanding, and cannot recommend it enough, although it is kind of hard to describe in terms of like what I like about it, other than I said the mechanics. Characters are going to die. There are two modes to it, but one of the modes is this thematic mode where it's like a movie. It's like a 2-hour, 3-hour movie, and there is a start and there is a finish, and the characters aren't intended to go on to another adventure. It's these self-contained little adventures or missions, and if everyone dies, everyone dies. But usually there's like 1 or 2 survivors, just like in the movies. But it's a very, very cool game, and something I definitely recommend. I need a darker color, but not so dark. I'm going to see, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to put a drop of hardened leather, which is this orange brown, and then I'm going to put a drop of dark wood, which is Morgan's skin color that I'm using. It's the only options I have, by the way. I'm just limited here, and I'm going to mix that and see what it gives me. I just don't know. I think it's dark. I think it's going to be dark, but it doesn't look too dark. Let's paint the whip and see. I can always come back and, oh, it did. I'll be darned. It did work. I'm new to these speed paints, so I didn't know if I could actually mix these, but guess what? You can. That is a totally different brown for the leather, for the whip that he's carrying. Nice. Excellent. Learned something new tonight. And yes, I'm always learning something new. I don't pretend to be a professional painter, so I don't necessarily know what I'm doing here. But that is cool. That is good enough to satisfy me. It's different enough from the pants and his skin color that it stands out. So I'm gonna use as much as I can before I have to mix up a little bit more. So yeah, I guess I play games like Core Space. And these are games that I come back to. I'll leave them for a while, and then I'll come back and try them again. And I don't know if that's frustrating to my viewers. It probably is. I jump around a lot. My interests go up, my interests go down, and but I try to get back to games. I try not to ever walk away from a game completely. There is one game that I'm really excited to start playing more. It's just it hasn't been released yet. The final rules. It's called, well, that's not true. It's called Lasting Tales, and I do have I think one video up of me playing it. It was when the beta rules came out. They have since released the PDF of the final rules, but I want the rule book in my hand. It is another one of those games that I need it in my hand. And there was some concern that the game wasn't going to release, that the company might have gone bankrupt or was taking the money and running, but I never believed that. Mainly because I've dealt with a company before in a business manner when I was running a magazine called the RPG and War Game Sourcebook. They were an advertiser, and they were always very professional and very kind and nice, and I never doubted that they were going to deliver. It's just they are one of those Kickstarters that I think they may have overpromised and just didn't have the means to satisfy it right away. But it's getting there. They produce these big boxes of minis that go along with that game. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting on that game or waiting on that book. And as soon as that book is released, yes, I will totally be playing Lasting Tales. Because, again, it was slightly different mechanics than something I was used to. It was new, or it is new. I'd not seen it something like it before. It has a campaign. Your characters level up. It's different than Frostgrave, different than Five Leagues. So I'm very, very much looking forward to it. It's called Lasting Tales. You should look it up if you're interested. And again, I do have an old playthrough video where I played, I think the one of the scenarios in it that was in the beta rules, and then I haven't done anything else since then. So yeah, he's looking pretty good. He doesn't match up exactly with the with what I'm seeing here, but close enough. I'm not gonna sweat it. So I guess to answer the question, the final question would be, you play a lot of games. Yes, I do. I'm very fortunate that my job allows me to set aside a certain number of hours a week to play games or to do things related to games. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a writer. I used to be a technical writer. I did that for 16 years. Wrote a number of books, like 35 books in 10 years. Burned out. I mean, not burned out, just got tired of it. Just didn't enjoy it anymore. But I've always been a gamer. And, think about it. They say that if somebody will pay, if you find something that you love to do and you'll find somebody who can pay you to do it, it's the best of both worlds, right? If you, people who have jobs that things they love, they don't dread getting up on Monday. Well, I don't dread getting up on Monday because my work now is sort of in the game hobby related. I do a zine every few months, every other month, called Delver, and the income from that is enough to justify the time I put into spending it. It also allows me time to do like what I'm doing here. I can take some time and shoot a video or play a game and shoot a video. And again, I'm very grateful and blessed because people like my viewers and my zine supporters, and their support allows me to do this. I'm very lucky. I make no bones about it. I'm very lucky that I get to do this, and I don't have like a 9-to-5 job. Now, where will this go? I don't know. This channel is starting to pick up. The Tabletop Engineer Plays is actually starting to generate income, which is more income than my crafting channel did even when I was active on it, like heavily active. I have the Tabletop Engineer YouTube channel, which never ever made me money. I mean, not even a fraction of what I really would need from it to justify doing it at full time. And I think that's typical of most YouTubers. If you are thinking you want to do a YouTube channel and make a living off of it, you really need to watch some YouTuber videos and understand what you're getting into, because it is not, especially in the hobby gaming world, it's just, you're not going to, in my opinion, you're not going to make enough money per month to justify quitting a job, okay? So that's why I have the laser business, which is my primary gig, but my primary gig is slowly becoming my secondary gig because I was able to spend time on both, and now it's starting to flip-flop, and I figure in another year or two I'm going to have to make some decisions. Do I continue the laser business and maybe slow down on the videos, or do I continue to go with the gaming stuff? The gaming stuff is my hobby, and I love it. And if I could write, say, a magazine a month, if I could do Delver every month, I would totally do it. I can't do it. It's too hard. I could not do that. But I can do every other month, or at least right now I can do every other month. And but yeah, so I get to play games during Monday through Friday. I get my lasering done. And then if I have time left over before the boys get home from school, or in the evening, which a lot of times I do because my wife sometimes works late, my boys are in an age now where they want to do their own thing. They don't want dad around, and I'm okay with that. That's part of life. So I come down here to the workshop and I set up a game and I play a game of Frostgrave, or I play a game of 5 Parsecs or what have you. So I'm very lucky in the sense that I get a little bit of income and a little bit of, I guess, payment to do fun stuff. Highly recommend it. If you can do it, if you can pull it off, give it a shot. You know, it's you need to have a real job, which is what I have, and then a side gig that you want to turn into something. And for me, it's always been games. Now let me explain. As a tech writer, it is a second nature to me to document things I do. That's why I video. When I'm doing something, I'm usually either documenting it text-wise so I can redo it. If I'm developing a product or something, I take notes or I videotape myself more. These days, I do less note-taking and more. I'll set up my iPhone on a little stand and just shoot what I'm doing. I document everything, and that's just second nature. It comes from being a tech writer and just the habit of anything you do, you document. It was sort of ingrained in us in school, and then in a career you just learn. So now I document everything I do, and I'm very fortunate because videoing my games, I'm going to play my games whether I video them or not. Okay? To me, it's just an extra 5 or 10 minutes of setting up the camera. I'm not a professional videographer. I don't have like an overhead, although I do want to get one. I don't have high-tech sound equipment and high-tech video equipment. It is what it is. I'm not trying to make it anything more than what it is. It's just me playing a game here in my workshop. Oh, and I'll set a camera up and video it so other people can watch me play. If you don't want to watch me play, that's fine. But some people do. Some people watch it, and apparently a lot of people are starting to watch because some of my videos are starting to take off. And I enjoy it. I enjoy playing the games, and then I enjoy answering questions or hearing people tell me that they like what I'm doing. And it's also nice because when I go to cons and stuff, I meet people who know my channel, and we get to talking. I'm not a personality or a I'm not can't even think of the word to, some sort of celebrity. I videotape myself painting. I videotape myself playing games, and I enjoy doing it, and I hope others enjoy watching it. But I'll talk with anybody. I will sit there and chat with you about anything you want to chat about at a convention. You name it, come find me. I'm not unapproachable, and I don't ever want to be like that. I want people to be able to come up and talk to me about their hobby and what they're doing, and I just like to meet people. So, all right, I think this is dried, and I am quite pleased with it. That is Morgan. I will take some close-up photos and include them at the end of this video. That's all I have for this one. I like painting just one video because the video goes pretty quick. You can skip over all the talking and just get to the end part if you just want to see the final guy. But thanks for joining me on this rambling session where I talked about the games I play and also sort of why I play them and why I video them. Again, I'm going to video them. If I'm going to play a game, I'm going to shoot a video of it just because. And if my channel ever dies down with like 5 subscribers, that's okay. I'm still going to post my gameplay videos. It's just my habit. It's who I am. So, all right, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this Paint a Mini session. I'll be back again very soon with another painting. I've got lots of minis to paint. So rest assured, I'll be back very shortly with another video. But until then, everybody, take care.